everybody, we're back again and we have a big project. As you know, Mother's Day I got this beautiful big phalaenopsis, and Jack and I were sitting having lunch one day and we often kind of brainstorm, and I said, you know, I'm not sure what I'm going to pot it in. And I said, I'm thinking of a bigger pot or putting two together because I have another big white phal here. I actually have three, but the other one's smaller. This is one from when I did the video at the garden club, and it was stressed for a while and it got little leaves and big leaves, and now it's doing good. So I have this one and then the new one, and I'm thinking, I'm saying, oh, I'd like it in a big pot, and we get our paper out and he draws some different kinds of pots. And I'm thinking, I have this pot that it never seems to hold anything for very long. I'm never really happy with what I put in it, and it's a pot that I got at the thrift store, and it was really cheap, but it's probably worth a little bit as a collector pot, or was. So right away I say, oh, I say to Jack, I know. And he goes, uh-oh. So I run and I get this pot. So I run and I get this pot, and I say, oh, I could put 2 orchids in this. It's big enough. And it needs holes. It's fiberglass. And he says, I'm not going to put holes in that pot because it's too nice. It's probably valuable. And I said, well, who cares? Because if it's making good use and I'm using it, I'm not saving something for someone else that won't even appreciate it anyway. At least it'll have orchids in it. So he looks at me and he takes the pot, and we got holes, nice holes in the bottom on the side. So then I had planned to put 2 orchids in it. So I thought, well, what do I know about putting 2 orchids together? Sometimes if one orchid's stronger and harder than the other, they might fight for the pot. One might be more taking over. So I thought, well, I'll put a separator in so that they're like in 2 pots, but they're close together. And when the other orchid will help keep the humidity, you know, as they're doing their breathing and that, and they'll help keep their humidity for the other one that has to adjust because its bark, it's been in moss. So I made this, I had this placemat, and I made this separator, and it was pretty weak and flimsy. He said, that's not good. So naturally he came out with a better idea, and it works good because we went angle to angle. So there is lots of room in each corner, and quite often they like to hang, they naturally hang over in their natural environment. So it's a good sized 2 pots side by side. They're not in each other's bark, but they're in the same pot, and they have lots of air holes. So I am going to put one on one side, one on the other. So that's the story. Thank goodness for him. This centerpiece is really strong. So I'll put that pot over, maybe over here, because this is a big potting job, so we better get at it. And what I've got for the bottom hole, and I've watched, I put water in, the water drains easily, but I got 2 pieces of brick that I'm going to put in the bottom where the hole is, so that I know it's always draining and the bark hasn't plugged it up. So that will go in the bottom. So now we better get at the job in hand. Put my water there in case I need it in a hurry. So as you know, it came in 3 pots. this was the outside pot, and said it was made in Canada. It said natural. It was so light, and I thought, oh, that would make a nice orchid pot. But Jack says if you get one like this, punch out the holes or be careful, because when he started drilling it, it's some kind of like bamboo fiber or plant fiber, and it just came apart and the whole pot blew apart. But he loves fixing things, so he's fixed it. And it's a beautiful, light, natural orchid pot, but not for this orchid. That was on the outside with no holes. Then there was this one, and this is some of the moss that I picked out the last day when I drop potted it, and I'm just going to put that in the compost bin. It was gross. So then it was in this pot with no holes, and then they had put some of these little things I'll keep for play, for I'm not sure what I'll use them for, but it also came with that in the second pot. And then the third pot with only drain holes. I've had 2. I've never had 3. So we'll put that over there. Now we got to get at it. And because it was very floppy and I didn't want it to fall over, I had to, we'll take the sticks out, because I think they might be very decorative when the final pot is done, for other years when flowers come. So let's take them out. Put my compost there. So, yes. Okay, we got all the sticks. And then I had to put kind of, it's a rock thing. I put it in there because it still was flopping. So, let's take this, you know, this didn't look real, this moss that was on the top. Can I let go of that for a minute? I'll show you after. You know, and it got wet. I'll show you after. It started to grow. Now, I don't know much about moss. I'm going to put it there so I can show you after how it's growing. But it's nice and green and it's growing. Is this a good moss or not a good moss? I don't know. So as you know, we just drop potted it. So I'm just going to take it like that. So we got at least the job started. And this moss, on the contrary, is just muck. That's about the best way to describe it. It is just muck. So I'm going to move the camera, just put this right like that in so you can get a good look of what we're doing. Okay. And down we go. Okay. Okay. I'm getting better at moving the camera, I think. So, here's where this moss was growing. There's a little piece. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I'll give you a close-up after. Now, there's where I squeezed together the poor aerial root that was broken in a couple places. So I'm just going to take them off for now. See, I think they're just kind of healing. So I'm going to try and get this cleaned up as quick as I can. Because there it's, the roots are not good. Now, when you change, and I always say this, I know, any media. And now if you have just found yours and it was in moss like this, and you put it in bark, and then, 4 months later you say, oh, it's doing terrible, I'm going to put it in water culture. I'm going to put it in leek beads. Every time you change medium, you shock the plant. You must be patient. and give it time to work. So this all has to come out of here. It is just terrible. Now what happens, you don't always lose all the roots. But the roots now see, look, this is yuck. So I'll throw it there. Anything that's soft and flat, that's just, it's no good anymore. This one too, this is rotten. And this one's all rotten. Good grief. Yeah, that has to all come out. The ones that may make it are the ones up here that have been near the top, and of course your one aerial root. So it's nice and green, so because I had it wrapped with moss. And when you're babying your plant in bark, now if you wanted to wrap your aerial root up so it stayed healthy, you could do that for a while, then unwrap it again with some of the moss that came. But this is actually pretty sad. I'm hoping these roots make it. This one, I'm going to have to lay it down. I think you can see in there. It will get a nice washout when I'm ready to pot it. So I'm saying these inner roots probably won't make it, but this is the best time of the year to do this because the growing season is upon us. And as the days are longer and warmer, now if you're in air conditioning all the time, you're not getting that extra warmth. The days are longer, but so they do grow quicker when there is extra warmth also. So, okay, I think we're going to go with that, and I'll tell you what I've done. We'll just leave this here again for a minute. Now, I have 2 pots ready. The reason I'm using these pots is because they're taller, and what's in here, let's see if I can show you, is just seaweed extract and about a tablespoon of seaweed extract and just a smidgen, quarter teaspoon of calmag. So this time, I know you like to know what I used. I used West Coast seaweed extract. I used that one. It was a new one, but I cheated. Now I'm half down on this one. This is what I've been using for my days. Like today was week 1. Today was my black tea soak. So what I'm going to do, the reason I did this one first, is it's not right cleaned up, and I will do that with water at the tap later when we move there. I am putting it in here, and the reason I wanted it deeper was so that it would stay in there. So put that down there. Put this one here until I have the other one ready. Now this is all garbage. So I have an empty pot. I'll put that there. Now I'll show you this moss. Now it is growing in places. Now I think it's this one that's growing. So what do I do with this stuff? I've never seen it before. So it seems to be growing. Do I keep it? I don't know. So I'm just going to set that aside because it's an I don't know. Anybody can help me out with that or what they do with it if they're used to it, let me know. And let's get these rotten ones out the way so that they don't end up anywhere I don't want them. Okay, now there's only one real aerial root at the bottom that I will have to watch on this one, that I put it back out. The other ones are on the top and they're okay. So it was watering day today, and they were all singing, oh, black tea, they love it. They love their black tea soak. So I'm going to take the clips off. Okay. Oh, whoop. I might as well take that off before it causes me trouble. Clouds of misty white. Okay, now we're going to take this out the pot. Do you know, December 15th, I went and looked at my videos. This one had quite a long spike. By the end of December, it was blossoming. Not one flower has come off of this since the end of December. Not one. It's still very healthy. So, I'm trying to figure out what the best way to, I think we'll just very carefully grab this and tip forward. Now we're going to see what it's like in bark, everybody. There's some white looking bark, but it seems not quite happy. Oh boy. I don't want to break anything. Gotta go down again. Yeah. I am soaking so much bark right now. It is a little stuck right here. Let me just loosen it from inside. There we go. One broke. Wow. Just loosening the ones that are kind of stuck to the side of the pot. Especially this one here. There. Once we get it out. Now there's one big one stuck here. See, I watered it because it was watering day, because I knew I could run into some stuck ones. So we lost one on the side of the pot right here. But other than that, okay, this is, okay, this one's also it's in full bloom. It also has a new leaf coming. So, we're just going to clean this up. And then it gets its pot, and I move over to the sink, and we'll put some bark in. Now, you see, here's the bark. And even though some of this is some of my old big bark, because this is from the Garden Club video. Holy, they asked me in to talk about orchids many years ago. And this is old bark. Some is white, doesn't matter. It has not, but it does need all new bark. And I have lots soaking because I got a few things to do. So it is near breaking down. So some of them are stuck, and I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, there's no rotten roots, at least not yet. I don't want to take too many off. If they're stuck, I'm leaving them. Yeah, everybody has, some people would, but you know what? I don't. If they're real crumbly, they'll come off, but if they're good and firm, they won't. And here is a close-up. This is an old one that was no good before, not now. And well, I think we're good, and I think we have lots of room in that pot for both orchids. So I have another pot over here with the same mixture. And so it's going in till we're facing the other way, and we'll put the bark in. So, and this is because if you grow a home garden, then this is very good compost for the garden, and that's where it goes. So I got a whole big bag of new bark and a little bit left in the other one, so I'm good. I have lots of bark soaking because there's more to do after this. And I'm going to turn you around towards the sink where I have the bark. And let's go over here. Okay, probably more like that. Okay, this is the bark. Okay, I think we're ready. And I'm going to put that in the sink because I don't want any bark going down. I'm going to put that here and get the first plant to get the pot. And make sure you guys can see. So here's the pot. And maybe I should put that in here. Let's see. Okay, first what I'm going to do is put some bark in the bottom over that little piece of brick to hold it in place. Now this is medium-sized bark because I can't get the large anymore, and most of my orchids that are in the large bark, they need repotted. So there'll be a few good ones coming. There we go. Take another look. Okay. Trying to give you the best look here, but I think we'll go with that. Okay, let's put the new one in. I just use straight bark. I found with the other nutrients it gets on the water schedule, it's fine. Oh, this is not the new one. This is mine. Well, it's okay. We'll put that one first. So, it's going to hang over the corner. Oh, there was one that has to go out a hole. Okay, we'll let you out. There. Once I get it in, now that one. Some of the ones that were up near the top in green, I want them. So, oh, put them in. Okay. Now, we're going to, what we do is I'm going to show you in here. If you look down in here. So I am just going to put bark in there and make sure it gets in real close. So that is the separator. If you see where, there we go. That is the separator. That was one near the top. This one was an aerial root, so it can go out a hole. There. They don't like to be in the pot if they've been out the pot. But luckily I didn't have too many out the pot. So I will get that. So this was a big discussion, and another good thing is I have two orchids that were in separate pots taking out room. Now they're going to be in one pot. So this is all good. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this in the corner, and I'm going to hold it up before I do any more damage and put a clip on it. And probably another clip. Okay, till I get the bark in. So, see what I've done. So, there's the flower. And I put a couple clips just till I get it done. And see, those sticks are coming in handy for now. So, okay, let's get some bark. I'll be shaking it around a bit. Put my hands down and let that fall to the bottom. Oh, this is twisted the wrong way. That's not how I wanted it. Just wait. We have to do it right, even if it means a turnaround. Okay, hold on to the flower. The idea of the corner is that it's okay, the bark will just get in a better spot. The idea of the corner is because they like to hang like that. So let's put some more bark in. Get the stick in again. So, and in future when I get new spikes, I may use this or a different one. There. That'll hold it till I get the bark in place. And I like to go in there, and because of all the roots, I like to let it shake into all that hole in the middle of the roots. So it may take a while for the other one to establish because its roots are sad, but it will get help from this plant with humidity. I forget that big word. Is anybody going to oh dear, I don't know. There's a big word for the name of breathing, and I forget it right now. So, then I got to get some in the front here. See, it's used to being in bark, so not such a big problem. And I'm keeping these buckets with the seaweed extract, put it in. Then I'll grab the crown and kind of shake it just gently and pull it so that it's where I want it. I'm going to let them be under the edge of the pot though, because there will be more humidity there. It'll be high in the media, but under the edge of the pot. Okay, you know what I should do is put a clip on this one too. Let me see. Whoops. We'll see how many flowers survive this. Okay, I'm going to put a clip on this one. There. Okay, now raise this one. You see, I hope you can see. I'm just shaking it a bit and raising it, and then I'll put more bark in. This is, you can call it an experiment, but I think they'll be just fine myself. Okay, I got more room over here. Now some of this bark is falling in the other side. That's okay too. So, we're getting there. So those ones that were green on the surface of the new orchid, they're at the surface of this one. They're not going to change. They're going to be in the same environment as they were. But when you change from moss to bark, then it's less humid or wet, then you are changing their environment. So, but because they're in a bigger pot together, it won't need watered as much. This is all good. This one's a nice height. I think they're related myself. There. Okay, now let's see. We're just about done. Okay, I'm going to lift it out and show you, and then I can, you know, fool around with it after and get it just how I want it. In the next video, I'll be sure to show you how it's going. The twins, we call them the twins because they came at the same time. They're not identical twins, but you know how you think you're going to call an orchid a certain name? Well, sometimes things change. It's like, how are the twins today? So, okay, I'm going to get you a view of this. And I'm going to spend some time getting the bark in just how I want. So, is this beautiful? And oh boy, I think they are going to be very happy there together. And the bark's been all changed. And I can still go in and take the old one out easily and check it. And then put it back because there's that nice strong separator. So that's that for now. And then for those that want to see how the ferny peonies are doing, I'm going to very carefully